Good evening and welcome to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center on the campus of IPFW. I'm Paul Farbaugh along with Neil Day. Here we're going to bring you NCAA Division I volleyball action tonight. Tonight it's number 12 IPFW versus number 15 Ohio State. And it's a conference game, Neil, early in the season, but it is a game that means something come May.
Well, as you know, IPFW is 3-0 in the conference going into this match, having beaten Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Ohio State, and Tri-State, Ball State and Tri-State. Ohio State's 2-0. The winner of this match has the upper hand going into the tournament because whoever is the number 1 team will get to play the number 4 team, which at this point would be Wisconsin, Milwaukee. So the winner of this match will have a much easier first round match. And last year, Ball State had to play Ohio State. They wore each other out. And IPFW had an easy night of it, beating Ohio State the next night in the championship.
And right now, Ohio State is in second place, so if IPFW were to fall behind, they would get Ball State at home. That could be a very difficult game. We're seeing a different team now for Ohio State. They're missing center Chuck Voss, a big player from last year, and another player who just broke his arm, their big hitter, Mike Terpstra.
Well, Chuck Voss, he left the team, and Mike Terpstra has broken his arm at the Naval Academy a couple weeks ago. Actually, it was his wrist. He came down on a setter on a play, the setter undercut him, and he landed on his wrist. From what I understand, it was a pretty ugly sight. And I just talked to him for the game. He said he plans to be back in 3 weeks, but for now, it's going to hurt them to not have him.
Okay, IPFW is getting healthy. All of a sudden, Norman Almodovar and Pepe Rolak coming back, playing well, and Craig Collins, over that ankle injury he suffered in Puerto Rico, coming back to play well. IPFW is looking strong tonight. Okay, well, as you know, Loy was hurt, Craig, Felipe, Norman. From what I understand, they're not fully healthy, but they're a lot stronger than they were the last time, so things are looking a lot tougher. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here. We've got people running back and forth. We're going to go upstairs where the living's a little easier. We'll be back right after these messages.
If baseball is getting better or traffic is getting worse. How do you know about stock market trends, the risk of cholesterol, the history of witchcraft, or the future of spacecraft? With statistics, that's how. And how can you find out about statistics? With the new Statistics series, Against All Odds.
Turn to find help for an elderly person you love. Call the Elder Care Locator at 1-800-677-1116.
Back at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center, Paul Farbaugh joined by Neil Day, middle blocker of last year's Final Four team at IPFW. Just getting set here for the starting lineups. Number 12, IPFW versus number 17, Ohio State, or 15, Ohio State. They are 17-5 overall. Let's go downstairs for the public address announcer. First, though, we'd like to thank the people at Cable Access for a grant they made that helps IPFW in part put these live telecasts on.
Item 12.
We don't have any items up here.
We don't have an Amiga, so you got to bring us an Amiga.
For the visiting Buckeyes of Ohio State, the starting lineups: number 2, from a sophomore from Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania, Steve Potter. Number 8, a freshman from Wheaton, Illinois, Adam Spitznagel. Number 9, a sophomore from Park Ridge, Illinois, Tom Hoff. Number 10, a freshman from Rochester, New York, John Junker. Number 11, a senior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Craig Geibel. And number 14, a sophomore out of Manchester, Pennsylvania, Matt Wilson. The Buckeyes are coached by Pete Hansen. He's assisted by Tim Embaugh and Bill Cooperrider.
Move just a little closer. They're saying down there they can't hear.
Now for your Volleyball. Number 7, a senior out of Rochester, New York, Quentin Spiegel. Number 8, a sophomore out of Ponce, Puerto Rico, Felipe Relat. Number 9, a senior out of Caguas, Puerto Rico, Raul Papaleo. Number 10, a junior out of Woodburn, Indiana, Loy Ball. Number 11, a sophomore out of Galesville, Wisconsin, Peter Kuyak. And number 15, a junior out of Yaco, Puerto Rico, Norman Amaldivar. The Volleyball are coached by Arnie Ball. He's assisted by Dave Schmidlin, Mark Franke, and Colin Leiter.
Those are your starting lineups.
The
We're going
officials
to
for
come
tonight
back
are Patty Salvatore,
right after these
Bob
messages with the start of the Ohio State IPFW match right after these messages.
Is a need in your own hometown. Please join your local chapter.
For over 2 millennia, Western society has generated a rich visual tradition of painting, sculpture, and architecture. What do these images mean? How can we understand them? Art of the Western world will take you on an exciting journey that will suggest answers to these and other questions. Beginning in ancient Greece and ending on the brink of the future, it will examine many of mankind's most enduring artistic achievements.
Oh, wait.
All right, we just had the national anthem here. We're stumbling and bumbling here. We hope IPFW gets off to a little better start. And we are up here at the announcer's booth. Run down that starting lineup one more time for Ohio State. Steve Potter, outside hitter.
He's from Pittsburgh.
He's number 2.
He's a friend of mine from Pittsburgh. I played against him.
Sophomore. Then you have number 8, Adam Spitznagel. He's going to be the setter here, and he is only a freshman. And we know from past experiences, Neil, that freshmen sometimes will learn the position as they grow, and it should be an interesting experience here. Ohio State 17-5 with a freshman center.
Well, as you know,
IPFW was in that position not too long ago.
It's exactly the point I was going to make. You beat me to it. Lloyd was a freshman setter, and freshman setters make lots and lots of mistakes. But where it pays off is what you see with IPFW right now. You have a seasoned setter by the time they're second year, and you have all that future ahead of them. So it's a worthwhile gamble if the setter's good enough, in my opinion. I think they made the right move.
Okay, ready to get this one underway. Spitznagel back to serve it in.
Lloyd dishing out the signs to his boys.
We'll round out the rest of the Ohio State lineup as we go here and run down IPFW when we get a chance. This is Spitznagel now. Waiting for the official's whistle. Then has 5 seconds to start it. Papaleo on the pass, slightly overpass, ball connects. First kill of the night for Ball.
Some things will never change. Nobody stopped that play in 3 years, and I don't think anybody will in the next 2 or in the years to come after that.
It's Peter Kuyak back on serve for IPFW. It's a Spitznagel. There you see a bad pass to start out Ohio State. A Spiegel from the back row. Still alive, have to get it over.
Steve Potter, I don't know what Steve's number is, number 2 for Ohio State. He played at a high school not too far from mine in Pittsburgh, and I got to follow him through his high school career. And at the time, I didn't know he had the potential to play as well as he has, but he has really been a big spark plug for this Ohio State team, and they're a lot better off for having gotten him.
This is Moldavar back on serve, tough serve. This is IPFW now, ball with a set. Dinked over by Rolat, might have been misplayed, and Ohio State starting off poorly here. Point IPFW.
Both teams look a little bit sloppy. Of course, IPFW looks a little bit more sharp, and the score reflects that with 1-0. But it looks like Ohio State is really off to a slow start.
Side out Ohio State. It's John Yunker back on serve at 0-1. Moldavar with a pass up to Ball. Back set, Papaleo. First fill for Papaleo, and he's been a little bit quiet this year as compared to an All-American season last year.
Well, that was our bread and butter play that we went through last year. I was the middle where Felipe is right now, and it was so awesome watching the middle blocker jump with you and looking at Raul go behind and take that ball straight down.
Another bad pass for Ohio State. A free opportunity here for IPFW. Papaleo has to get it over. IPFW with a mistake. Time the quick set, blocked by IPFW. Papaleo with a big swing, 3 blockers up on him, but Ohio State into the net.
They're in the net. It was a good form block, well-formed block. They had all 3 players close together, but I think Hoff hit the net on that one.
This is Ball with a jump serve, catches the end line. Service ace for Ball, his first.
You know, IPFW's had a rocky start to this season, but they're starting to get the injuries and all the other things, you know, with their inability to play well this year behind them, and they're starting to move ahead with the season. And if they keep moving at the pace they're going, they still have a chance to win the national championship.
That time you see Ball motioning that he has to pop the ball up rather than just get his hands out in front of the ball. He has to get underneath the ball. This is Kuye.
That set was a little deep by Loy. Peter had a good swing at it, though. Nice dig.
Papaleo tries to come up with a slide and dive, doesn't get it. First point, Ohio State.
You know, I think it's anybody's race this year for the national championship because Pepperdine just beat UCLA, and UCLA was number 1. You have a lot of upsets going on. Another thing is people have counted IPFW out this year. A lot of the teams out there on the West Coast, and I think that's going to be a big mistake by them because IPFW is going to cause a lot of damage before this year's over. Good
dig by Ball there. That time a poor set. That was Tom Hoff trying to run behind the set of Spitznagel. Ohio State 2 service errors in the early going here. It's 4-1 IPFW. Rolat back on serve. This is Spitznagel. Potter from the back row. Ball that time not under reach, or under the ball, just reaching for it again. Sluggish start for both teams here. So surprising in a match that does mean a lot. IPFW has Ohio State at home yet. Papaleo that time blocked. Spitznagel.
If you look at Tom Hoff's body, it's very similar to Felipe Rolat's, and that's where they both get a lot of blocks. They have very long arms, very long bodies, and it allows them to get up quicker. And he just showed his great ability to block there. It's very hard to hit around.
Tough floater serve that time. Handled nicely by Moldavar. This is Potter. The swing error that time, side out IPFW. They lead 4-2. Papaleo, first chance on serve. This is Spitznagel. Goes outside, ball digs it, still alive into the stands.
Looks like Squirrel went into the cameraman there. I wonder if they got a shot of that, but I think they're both okay.
Squirrel has been probably, and by Squirrel we mean Quentin Spiegel, the most consistent player for IPFW this year thus far.
No doubt, and that's really a change from 2 years ago because Quentin has always had great potential to be one of the best players in the country. When he was a junior and he came in here, though, he had spells where he was playing really great and other times where he wasn't. And last year he developed that consistency, and now it's paying. And as you know, he got honorable mention All-American, and this year it's really paying off for him. He's doing a great job.
Two-man set there. What do we see there when Spiegel and Kuyak jump at the same time, Neil?
Well, what happens is, one, with 3 hitters in the front row, it opens it up for the outside hitter because both of the blockers there have to jump with both hitters. So therefore, if they do set to the outside, it's one-on-one automatically. And ball's out of bounds.
And we see a little bit of the strategy for Ohio State right now. They're trying to hit the high flat shots
ball's
off the top
bounds.
of the hands of IPFW.
But also the double quick confuses the blocking formations there, and Lloyd can always see that, and he'll set with either one of those guys.
Fourth block for Ohio State that time. IPFW did not get it over in 3 chances. And we're tied at 4 apiece. This is the setter Spitznagel back on serve. Good serve that time. Ball handles. Kuyak. Quick hitter over the middle for the kill.
Pete has been really working on hitting the ball high this year. Right there, he showed how much he's been working. That was the first time I've seen him really hit a ball that high with that kind of power. So obviously, the work he's been putting through in practice has paid off for him here.
Tough serve. This is Potter from the outside. Reset now for Ohio State. Going wide. That's Geibel turned inside. Blocked by Loy Ball.
Perfect blocking for him there. Loy has really picked his blocking up a notch this year, as he showed in the Long Beach match against Hilliard. And he had perfect form, turning his hands into the court, causing the ball to go back there.
Boy, fastball served by Kuyak. Too hot to handle, 6-4 for IPFW now.
For any of you that play ping pong or tennis, you know serving into the body makes it difficult for that person to get a good swing at the ball because they have to maneuver their body around to get in position. That was the same thing that you saw right there. They served the ball into his chest. He couldn't get his arms in a good position to pass it. As a result, he shanked it off the back wall.
Overpass, and Rolat connects. That time all set up by the hard serve. A good serve by Peter Kuyak again. Going to have a timeout now. Ohio State fell behind 3-0 early. Tied it up at 4, and now trails 7-4.
The College Cable Access Channel Program Guide provides information about our programming, including IPFW sports telecasts. To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805, or call us at 481-6000.
That is free. Got about 5 more telecasts here the rest of the season. I believe 4 in one weekend. Ohio State, you can see the strategy. A young team and a team that is not very tall against a good front line for IPFW size-wise. They're trying to hit the high flat shots off IPFW, and IPFW has to be aware and pull their hands back in time. So Spitznagel outside. Potter goes down the line. Catches a part of it. Side out Ohio State. Good timeout.
Potter's really explosive off the floor, being a left-hander. He's going to get a lot of sets out there on that right side tonight. But he needs to settle down a little bit here because he looks like he's not concentrating. That's why he hit that last ball to bounce.
I beg your pardon. That ball was out of bounds, and Kuyak follows that up with the first IPFW service error to turn it over now 4-8. Ohio State on serve. This is ball, quick set, Rolat.
Ball caught the back line, and Lauren Gebert
was that
back there to make the call.
Was that a called play? It looked like Rolat slowed down his arm swing that time.
It's because the set was high for him, so he had to adjust his arm swing to make sure he put it in bounds and did a good job of doing it.
Now, just before that timeout, I was going to comment that IPFW had gotten rid of one nemesis thus far, and that was a service game, the service errors. And they come back with 2 straight. Spiegel blocked. Two-man block for Ohio State. One to get it over. Bombing back, Raul Moldavar. This is Ralat. Nice dink by Ralat.
This match has been kind of off to a slow start. Fans haven't gotten into it yet. I myself haven't gotten into it yet in terms of
nor have I.
jumping up. But IPFW is playing really well. They're playing consistent, and they're holding Ohio State down. So they play it this way. It might be a slow night, but as long as they get the job done.
Good block that time. Spiegel and Ralat combining. There's Kuyak, 2 to get it over. Outside Spiegel.
Squirrel.
First kill attempt for Spiegel tonight. He connects. One thing you might notice about Quentin Spiegel, he does connect a lot. He has a very high kill percentage. It's the number of kills attempted and actual kills connected for.
Yeah, his kill percentage is phenomenal considering how many sets he gets. When you think about other guys like Tom Sorensen, who just had 51 kills against UCLA. Tom Sorensen plays for Pepperdine. His hitting percentage is way down because he makes a lot of errors too, but Quentin gets a lot of sets as well, but his percentage is up because he converts on a lot of those attempts that he gets sets from Loy. So Quentin's doing a phenomenal job for the number of sets that he's getting.
Steve Potter there, going cross court. Back on serve, this is number 14, Matt Wilson. That time, tough service.
Trying to get the crowd back into the game here. You saw an overpass there, put away.
And Ohio State beginning to make a little noise here now, 6-8.
They're closing the gap here.
Tough floater serve, and Moldavar overpass again.
Loy's back row. For those of you at home who are wondering what the call was just there, when he's in front of that white line that you see on your screen when they get the long court view going here, he cannot attack the ball above the net. He has to be below the net. And for Loy, unless he's standing flat-footed, he's not below the net. And even then, he has to bend his knees because when he reaches up, his hands are at least 5 or 6 inches above the net. So he doesn't even have to jump to be called for that play there.
Tom Hoff, the tallest player for Ohio State, 6'7" with a block there. It's tied up at 8. Ralat with a big swing, and Hoff turns it back one more time.
Hoff's on fire, and now Ohio State's ahead. IPFW has got to stay consistent like they have been, get the ball back here, and get some points. Take the advantage away from Ohio State.
Papaleo that time with a big swing. Looks like he came down on the ankle a little hard.
Raul's been limping tonight, and I personally don't know what is wrong with him, whether it's an ankle or a knee, but they need him.
Hasn't quite had the same elevation as we've seen from him in the past. That time a bad pass by Wilson. One to get it over. Potter does. Great get by Potter.
Raul is hurt.
Now.
Raul is very hurt. I think he's going to have to go out of the game here. He's
bending
limping
over
around.
at the waist.
Raul's
he's going to come out.
for limp here.
To me,
he did it to his ankle.
To me, it does look like an ankle.
And a lot of people have talked about Raul. And Raul, you know, if he's hurt, it is a major injury. If he's not, you know, it's not anything to play around with because he'll stay on the court, you know, if his leg got cut off.
Tough service that time by
Great serve by
Papaleo.
Raul, but he's still limping. He's asked for a substitution, but they're leaving him in here.
What's
Maybe he can walk it off.
Well, what's coaches thinking on that?
I don't know. Maybe it was something that Raul could walk off, and obviously he had a tremendous serve there, so maybe he's going to be okay here.
Another tough serve, handled nicely. This is off that time, off the block. IPFW did not get that block up quickly.
You know, a lot of people have said, you know, Raul's having a sub. Here's Chad Blatchley coming in for him here. I hope he's going to be okay. Maybe he just needs a new tape job. It might have been a bad tape job, and he needs it redone. We'll find out here. You know, a lot of people have talked about Raul having a very difficult year this year, and his stats have gone down a little bit, but still, he is a very consistent player, and in the clutch, you can go to him and rely on him. So, without him, IPFW would be at a major, major loss, and Raul is still one of the best players in this country, if not the best this year.
Combination play a little slow that time. Geibel behind the ball, out of bounds.
It looks like his knee may have popped out. I see trainer Mike Gale working on it. I don't know exactly what it is. It might have been a quad muscle. Can't really tell from up here.
We'll try and check on that as the match progresses. Now long set. Ohio State has to get it over. What a wicked play by Moldavar for the kill.
Normal Gorham the quiet storm. When he goes up on an overpass like that, all you can do is exactly what Potter did. Throw your hands up in front of your face and try and protect it.
And do a little praying.
Otherwise, you'll get hurt.
This is Spiegel now, 12-9. He's been on serve, 3 straight points.
This Norm's a bad man.
Spitznagel, the setter, back on serve for Ohio State. 3rd time through the rotation. This is Blatchley. Avandavar with a big bomb over 2 blockers. Blatchley now with an overpass. Ball up there. Still alive, can't get it over. That's going to be 4 hits.
You know, what happened there was Lloyd backed off to get, hoping for a high set where he can come in and either fake an attack or set the ball outside. As a result of doing that, Chad passed the ball faster than what Lloyd had expected it, and he wasn't able to get to it, and that's what caused the mix-up there. Beautiful. He has really perfected that. I remember when I was a junior, he was a freshman. We played the Russians here, and their coach was really talking to Lloyd about some of the things he can do to do that without it being a lift. And Lloyd has really learned how to disguise that, and that's just another weapon in his arsenal that makes him a great offensive weapon as a setter.
That time, great position by Spiegel to pick off Potter going cross court. Spiegel gets a kill as well.
Now, if any of you watch the Olympic national team with Steve Timmons, you'll notice that the sets to the back row are a little bit closer to what he sets Quentin there. But our team has so much success because they're so consistent at hitting the ball that we set our sets a little bit deeper, and we've had a lot of success that way.
Okay, it's 13-10 right now. We want to tell you about this. Tune in to Channel 6 Friday evening, March 26th. That's the next volleyball telecast, 8 p.m. on the 26th. It's Loyola Marymount University, and they'll be taking on the IPFW Volleyball right here on Channel 6. And quite a few teams in that weekend, Neil. California teams is going to be a big deal for IPFW because they didn't play well out there the last time they were out there. I believe 2-4 on that swing out in the West Coast in early January.
Well, they're going back out there at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, but they have a schedule out there of San Diego State, Laverne College or University, and Brigham Young University. The big one there is Brigham Young. Brigham Young has already defeated Stanford, who, as you guys remember, is the team that defeated us in the Final Four. So IPFW has to win that match. We played against BYU out there 2 years ago. It's a beautiful place, Provo, Utah. And we managed to come out of there with a win in 3 games, but every game was very difficult and hard-fought battle. Plus, they get the biggest crowds in the country out there at Brigham Young, so IPFW is going to have their hands full.
Boy, nice swing that time by Rolat. That time, Ball put the set right up at the net there, and Rolat seemed like he was just a little bit behind it, but a beautiful arm swing that time. Is that something Lloyd does with certain players? He knows where to put the ball at?
Well, every player is different. He has to learn. You know, he's played with Felipe for a couple years now, and all these guys, with the exception of Peter, he knows how to set them, and each player is set differently. No player is set, well, there may be 2 set the same, but, you know, Lloyd has to adjust to each player.
It's time you see it again, and a whiff that time by Rolat. The set a little low.
But often there are misconnections.
Okay, 13-11 now. Ohio State trailing by just 2. This is Blatchley. Tough pass that time. Ball has to go fetch.
Great dig by Blatchley.
What a block by Hoff. One-on-one, and Blatchley blocked. 2-man block, 13-12.
Hoff has been a monster tonight. He's blocked a lot of balls.
Playing well at the net. Good penetration, especially by Hoff. Blatchley now. This pass is a little better.
Whoa, that might have been a call to lift, but it wasn't.
Reset here, one to get it over. Potter
beautiful
bombing.
Set, beautiful idea by the Ohio State setter.
Back row, Kuyak. That was out of bounds, but saved by Ohio State.
Hoff's not the person you want setting the ball, and as you can see, the result of it. You want to get your setter there to get a hands on the ball, but the dig was so fast, Hoff had no choice but to set it, and that cost him a point there.
They list Matt Wilson there, the man who was hitting, as an outside hitter, but he is only 6 feet tall. That time did not get enough elevation to put the ball over the net. And another service error. That is the 4th here in the first game for IPFW. Had 3 straight. Looked like they had it straightened out. Come back with a crucial service error. And Blatchley is having trouble passing the ball. Papaleo is normally the passer, or Maldivar, and they are working on Blatchley right now.
Well, Raul is the best passer in the country, regardless of the season he's having statistically. Now with Raul out of the lineup, they're going to attack Chad, and as you can see, they're having success doing that right now. Let's hope Chad can get it together, pass a couple balls here, and we can win this game, because believe me, the next series of serves are all going to go at Chad and force him to pass the ball.
Okay, well, the house is not rocking tonight, but it will be a little later on. You can be guaranteed of that.
Oh, with our fans always.
You two can join in the excitement, Neil, of IPFW athletics, if you didn't know that. By participating in the Royal Dons Club is the official booster club for all IPFW athletic teams. Members enjoy priority seating at all IPFW sporting events, food and refreshments in the hospitality room, in addition to IPFW sports media luncheons in association with Mastodon supporters. For more information, you can call Lisa Moreland there. The number is 481-6027.
Great save by Loy there.
Back to action here. That time. Good elevation by Wilson.
Once again, Patty makes more overrules than any referee I can remember. The line judge called the ball out of bounds. Patty overruled it, called it in. Now Ohio State has a game point, and IPFW can go down here. They go at Blatchley again.
Boy, tough service that time.
Great pass by Che. Let's see if Squirrel can put it away. IPFW is still in this.
Okay, Patty Salvatore is the umpire. She can make the overrules if she so chooses.
Actually, she's the up referee. And as you said, she can, anything she says goes. She has the final say in everything. She has the veto power.
This is Relat now on serve at 13-14. Spitznagel, Potter, ball in position.
Come on, stop him. Ooh.
Off with a big swing. And Neil, that play looks pretty easy when a ball is just up for grabs over the net, but it is more difficult than it appears.
Definitely. I can remember burying a couple on the bottom of the net myself. But you've got to get up because the block's in front of you, and that can be an intimidating factor because you're afraid you might get blocked.
Timing difficult also, and that's game one, 15-13. Blocked by Hoff and number 11, Craig Geibel. And that is the story here. The first game, 15-13, Ohio State kept in it with good penetration at the net.
Well, we don't know how Raul's doing. He's walking out on the court to warm up, so I think that's a good sign. Ohio State has just won a game off IPFW without their biggest outside hitter, Mike Terpstra. They had their work cut out for them. Without Terpstra playing on IPFW's court, you know, most people would think it's impossible for them to win, but obviously they're struggling tough, and they may have a chance.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now and be back with the second game right after these messages.
Carol.
Tom.
Some people still don't realize how space technology benefits everyone.
Well, you've played a detective. Why don't you give him a clue and I'll be your helper?
Okay, partner. Look at this.
Without warning, hurricanes can take a huge toll in lives and property.
But with space satellites, we now have ample warnings.
And thousands of lives have been saved.
Hey, Carol, we're a great team.
We're a great item.
Space technology.
This is what's in it for you.
Mental illness. We fear it. We laugh at it. This guy's lost his We scorn it. We think it's shameful. But these are misunderstandings. Misunderstandings that will fade away if we see mental illness for what it really is. A medical disease. A disease that can be treated if you just know where to turn. For an informative booklet, call the American Mental Health Fund.
I believe that we can restore prosperity.
For over 40 years, the primary responsibility for shaping America's economic policies rested with the office of the president. To learn how these decisions are made and how they affect you, enroll in the Economics USA telecourse. It's an education for life.
A lot of my friends have already retired. But I wasn't ready for that. So I'm still teaching. This time in Belize, Central America. I decided to join the Peace Corps. I love my kids. And the way I figure it, I have the rest of my life to play cards.
Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
Back at the Gate Center, I'm Paul Farba, joined by Neil Day. Game one, Ohio State 15-13, getting set here for game two. Still a question mark whether Papaleo will start this game. We're working on getting the information to see what exactly is wrong with him. Thought initially that he came down on his ankle there, but we saw the trainer Mike Gale working on a knee, so we're not exactly sure what is wrong with Papaleo. Once again, we'll pass on that information.
Well, here comes the jacket, so he's going in there, and they need him because right there at the end of that game, if he'd have been in there, those balls would not have that one ball that was shanked wouldn't have been shanked, and they would have stopped Ohio State from getting that 14th point. So
with Papaleo out, Ohio State has served to Blatchley.
I guess he's not coming back in. Chant can be a very good passer, though. It's just that he come off the bench. It's very difficult to come off the bench cold like that and have a team attack you. That's why all coaches attack the player coming off the bench. So, now he's had a couple plays to get himself, calm down on the court, and he should be able to do a fine job here, and IPFW should still win this match in the next 3 games.
There's a look at Papaleo. He's sitting next to the trainer there, Mike Gale. And it is the left knee. Okay, Peter Kuyak on serve for game 2 here, the start. Right where they left
Ball's
off.
Out of bounds. It was a very high swing by Hoff and a great job, but ball was out of bounds.
Point IPFW here. We're having trouble getting the ball over to Kuyak. It's affecting everyone tonight. A little slow start for us here in the booth, and a slow start for IPFW. Well, they've seemed a little listless, Neil. A little.
All of us better wake up, including you, myself, crowd, IPFW, or else we could see a major upset here tonight.
That time, poor swing by Wilson. That ball had no chance getting over the net. It would go down as a block, probably. That ball was not over the net. 2-0 now. Kuyak on serve. IPFW jumped out to a 3-0 lead first game. That time, big block by Relat. Ball still alive. 2-man block that time.
There's a huge block up there. Patty has a Hawkeye there. She caught the 4 hits, which is very difficult sometimes for the official to see. Right now with Norman, Loy, and Felipe, we're talking 6'4", 6'6", and 6'8", all with very long arms and very good jumpers. A lot of balls are going to be blocked and put away.
That time you see Relat getting that ball right as it came over the net. 4-0 now IPFW. This is just what the doctor ordered. Timeout for Ohio State.
We're going to see a replay of that overpass kill by Felipe Relat. Now, players have to be ready at the net. You notice how Felipe had his hands up before he hit that ball. Because if you're asleep and you got your arms down and that ball comes over and you're late, you're going to hit it in the bottom of the net. So middle blockers have to be ready with their hands up when the ball's coming over.
Okay, I think the point Neil was trying to make there, when you have your arms up, you're ready to get the ball immediately. When the arms are down, you have to bring the arms up, and that costs you time, and you can't afford time on an overpass there.
Exactly.
Channel 6 now is accepting applications for underwriting the televising of IPFW sports events and other programs. For more information about how your business or organization can utilize this opportunity, call the Channel 6 office during business hours. I would assume that is 9 to 5 at 481-6000.
Kojak's going to serve here. It's going to be a tough one.
He's been on serve for all 4 IPFW points. Spiegel that time, a little mix-up between Kuyak and Spiegel. Probably Spiegel's fault.
If you look at the 2 players there, both of them had a chance for the ball, but Pete had a chance to put 2 hands on the ball and make a good pass. Quentin had a chance to put 1 hand and send the ball back against the wall. Which choice would you rather have?
Jump service by Potter. It's a good one. Spiegel from the back row.
But that's my boy, and he comes right back at you. He can't handle the squirrel. So he knows he made a mistake on that last play. Doesn't sweat it, comes right back, gets a major kill. He's incredible hitting from the back row this year, last year. In the future, he will be as well.
This is a Moldovar on serve at 4-0. Good floater serve. That time off with a big arm swing right over the blockers. Nobody up.
Hoff's hitting the ball really high. That's one thing that Peter Kujak's been working on doing. And as a result, he's getting a lot of kills or at least not getting blocked.
Wilson now the serve. Blatchley handles it nicely. Outside, Kuyak doesn't get the ball up that time.
And Peter was taking an inside-out approach, going out towards out of bounds, and causing him to hit the ball back against the grain. The only player that really has a lot of success with that is Raul Papaleo because he's amazing. Pete needs to come a little more outside, take an outside-in approach, and he'll kill that ball next time because he's such a great jumper.
Boy, tough serve. Blatchley handles it nicely. One-on-one block by Hoff, and he's been devastating tonight. I have him for 5 blocks right now. We'll have to check on that, but he has been a one-man wrecking crew for Ohio State now. 2-4 Wilson on serve.
He's a great blocker. He always had problems against us blocking last year, but I know his statistics were way up there.
Top spin is out. Service error, Ohio State. That is their 4th in this match. Ball back on serve at 4-2.
As a matter of fact, Tom Hoff is currently 10th in the nation in blocking.
Boy, that time, great get by Ohio State. Starting to cover the floor a little better.
But we're pulling in a number 9 person with Peter Kujak, who is 1 step ahead of Tom Hoff with 1.55 blocks per game, and Hoff has 1.53 blocks per game.
Boy, Blatchley with the overpass that time, and Blatchley seems to be playing the ball and pushing the ball a little more than caressing the ball to pass or the serve and pass the ball when he does that. Seems like he's really pushing the ball, not getting his body in front of it.
But Chad's a very intense player, and he's going to go after every ball with 100%.
That time a lot, 2-man block, and they're going to have to get a little more variety in the offense now.
You know, going into this match, you say who's going to block the other team off the court. You would think IPFW because they're such great blockers, but to this point, it's been Ohio State, and I'm sure IPFW will get it started. There was no touch there, but carried by Steve Potter.
Potter that time. Hit the ball twice. Tied up at 4-4 now. IPFW out 4-0.
Point was given to Ohio State. I don't know exactly why.
See if we can get the referee on this one. We'll go back and check on that one for you. Boy, and Lloyd Ball now getting the face of Kuyak. And perhaps that's what they need. They need to shake this team up a little bit. They've been very listless on the floor tonight.
I will see if that affects in a positive or in a negative way. We'll see here. Hopefully Pete will get fired up here and make the play here. Set back to Blatchley.
Blatchley now. That was a poor set that time by IPFW. 7-4 now.
IPFW needs to win this match because having to go down to Ohio State, they would have to defeat them on their court. And they're behind here, but Coach Ball's going to calm down here, and they'll be all right coming out.
Coach Ball has not said a word yet. Amaldavar having a seat.
They're just not very they're not very cohesive right now. They're not working well together. But they were at the start of that first game. They were very consistent, working very well together. But we've seen that from them this year. They have all the potential in the world to win the national championship. But sometimes they've had some problems working together with each other on the court. But they're all great guys. They all like each other. And we should be able to get something started here. Need someone to step up as a leader. Here comes Papa. He's going to play hurt. That's my boy. He's got a lot of heart. Bulldog came in and did a good job. Rawls back now. See if it helps us out.
Papaleo in. They need his passing tonight. Blatchley.
Chad's a little down on himself, but he has no reason to be. He came in and played well. Craig Collins helping him out there. Chad's just very critical of himself, and that's what makes him such a good player because he's always striving to be better.
Okay, now that time miscommunication a lot. Thought someone was running behind him.
A little bit sluggish right now, but hopefully we'll get it started here.
Boy, it's been a disjointed effort thus far. IPFW up 3-0 in the first game, 4-0 in the second, and now it's come apart 8-4 Ohio State here.
There we go. Now we're talking. Lloyd, a set boy, kicking it to Felipe, pouncing it off his foot.
Well, I think
that's what we needed right there. Now let's come back. Lloyd's fired up. The whole team's fired up. Hopefully we're going to take charge here.
This is Potter. Ralot digs. Another to get it over here. Here's
set.
Papaleo. That time a little mistiming. Does get it over.
He did a great job of towing the block. He's great at that.
Potter, 2-man block, and that one shouldn't have gone over. Just poor penetration by IPFW. Soft block, and they punched it in there.
All of you middle blockers at home, you have to get over the net. Pete Kujak was a foot back from the net, and that's why that ball rolled down his chest. You have to get your hands up and over the net in order to block balls.
Boy, big swing.
There's my boy.
By Papaleo.
He's back, and he's hopping. Doesn't look like it's hurting him as much now.
Good bounce on that swing by Papaleo.
So with Pop on fire, we will come back and win this match, no doubt.
On serve. He had 3 straight points in the first game on serve.
Great up by Norman Gorham. Squirrel with the set. Norman Gorham, quiet storm. They can't handle it. Now we're on fire.
And the crowd starting to get back into it. 5-8, Papaleo, a little bit of a spark plug off the bench. A kill and a nice serve.
Look at that look in Norman's eyes right now. Other guys on the other side of the net, don't think that that doesn't affect them because it does. Norman's a very intimidating player. Boom.
Great penetration
right there.
that time by Amaldavar.
Now to play up, pass up by Pop. Perfect pass. Nice and high for Lloyd. Lloyd needs high passes.
Boy, great idea that time. Kuyak comes back.
That was, Raul made that play happen by passing the ball high for Lloyd. Because he is 6'8", it made that entire play happen. We have to pass the ball high. It's not like for Ohio State, they pass the ball much lower. And Raul does a tremendous job of passing the ball. He and Norman are really picking us up right now.
Spitznagel with a nice set.
Oh, that's my boy.
Great get that time. Relat's got to swing outside. Good body control by Relat that time. The set was wide. Had to go outside his body line. What are we going to have here? Relat over the line.
They called him over, but it was a great choice, man. But IPFW is back on track right now. And the crowd's back in the house right now with that series of plays. All they have to do is side out and keep rolling, and they'll be fine.
Geibel back on serve.
Tough pass by Norman.
What a
Peter
great
with
get by Ball.
Here comes the set outside. Wow.
Big swing by Wilson that time. He's had trouble, went down the line, successful. 9-6 Ohio State now. Papaleo, good pass. Valdemar, one-on-one block.
Now that's what I was talking about earlier about getting over the net. You notice his hands were over the net. Where'd the ball go? Straight down. The further you reach over, the more straight down the ball goes. If you're back off the net, it rolls down your chest instead.
Going right back to him on one-on-one.
That's my boy. He comes right back at you. Norman's not going to take anything from anybody. You know, he's very fired up, very focused on the game, and he does not like getting blocked, as is no player, but Norman especially, so he's going to be fired up here.
Very intense player, but Ohio State taking it to IPFW right now.
Pete's having some problems with the net. He is ninth in the nation in blocking, but he just had a net error there. He's got to settle down a little bit. Remember, this is his first year playing Division I volleyball, so, you know, he'll settle down. Hopefully we can get him a set here, maybe get him back in the flow of things.
Okay, bad pass by Maldavar. He is the second passer.
Norman's had a couple of bad passes here back-to-back, but that's because Ohio State's serving the ball so well. Norman's a great passer, and he'll get it together.
It's a name we haven't called very often.
See, I told you. See ya, Kujak. Great pass by Norman. The set to Peter, gets Peter back in the flow. Great choice by Loy, showing his leadership there, knowing to set Peter and get him back into the flow of things.
Skujak back on serve, 6-11 now. And a
Just
service
missed.
error.
But they're going for the big one now. Now we're down 5. We have to side out here and get our serves in and get some points back.
Back on serve, Steve Potter for Ohio State.
This set probably will go outside to Norman. No, it goes back to Squirrel.
Spiegel picked nicely that time by Geibel, coming back to
roll shot. Oh, come
Still
on.
alive. Squirrel can't get it with a backhand.
You know, Ohio State reminds me a lot of Ball State. They're doing a lot of tipping and rolling, hitting empty spots in the court, as is IPFW tonight. And right now, we've got to not get so dug in. What I mean by dug in is when a defensive player gets so focused on taking that hard-driven spike that they get themselves entrenched into the ground, and when the ball's tipped, they're not able to react quick enough to get it. They have to be a little bit more loose, light on their feet, kind of like a boxer who's boxing, be ready to go after that ball and pick it up.
Time, good move by Kuyak, wiping the floor off. Trying to bring IPFW back a little bit.
Raul hurt himself trying to pass that ball there, but he looks okay.
It is 6-12 Ohio State with the lead. IPFW on serve.
Let's go, Norm. Get us back in it. Great short serve. And we need a clamp here.
Spitznagel with a quick set that time. Works to Hoff. And they have been working well over the middle.
You can't block every ball. You try to take away their angles. You try and see what their tendencies, the plays before. Now we know Hoff's going to try and cut the ball back. Got to take that angle away more next time.
That time Relat with a big.
Felipe doesn't block a ball. He gets himself a little bit out of the flow. What happens? Great pass. Lloyd gives it right back to him. He's right back in the game. Lloyd's doing a great job of his set selection.
Ball on serve, and you can almost bet this is a jump serve. Tough
Great
serve,
pass.
handled nicely. Hoff straight down.
Ohio State's fired up. Saying a little bit to Raul there, but Raul will come back and get him. He got faked out there and went up and left the guy with nobody up on the block and had an easy hit to hit him straight down. Norman almost dug it though. Great set, wow.
Great set, and Relat just too far inside.
Well, when the pass is that tight and Loy has a hard time getting to it, he has to one-hand set it, which makes it very hard for Felipe to hit that ball.
Ohio State in control.
So it's really no one's fault.
13-6 here in this second game. This is Spiegel from the outside.
Great dig by Norman. We got to hit this one.
Spiegel blocked again. And perhaps IPFW should go over the middle with the quick sets. They've been successful there. When they have had the high sets and going to the outside, Ohio State has consistently got 2 blockers or a Hoff on a kill with them.
You get that one in the nose, Paul. They're blocking up a storm here tonight. And if they're blocking like that, we definitely are in some trouble tonight, more than having our hands full.
Game point, Geibel.
Great dig by Norm Gorm. Here comes Papa.
Papaleo, off
using
the
that
hands.
block. He's so great at doing that, but Ohio State is picking that up.
Potter that time.
All right.
Tough swing for Potter that time. Got airborne just a little too quickly. That is side out IPFW, trailing 6-14 here. They need to run to get the momentum back. Rolata on serve. Geibel.
And he's a little frustrated right now because of the lack of defense and the lack of blocking and the lack of almost everything. But they've got to realize they've got to calm down, try and get this game, at least get some momentum going into the next game. Because volleyball is like the World Series. If you lose a game, it's not over until the fourth one's won.
Papaleo, great get that time by Wilson for Ohio State. Hoff, Papaleo saves again, over pass off Spiegel. Gain 2, 15-6. Ohio State jumps out 2-0 here in the best of 5. IPFW faltering badly after a 4-0 lead in the second game.
Ohio State's on fire, and Coach Hansen's very focused. He wants to get this 1 and 3 because he knows if IPFW wins this game, what happens? First, the crowd gets back in it. Second of all, IPFW realizes that they are out of their slump and that they know that they're a better team than Ohio State and they can get on a roll. Third, when you're on the road, you don't want to you want to take the other team out as quickly as possible. You don't want it going the length of distance because usually the home team will win in the 5th game. So Pete Hansen wants to win this game.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break and be back with game 3 right after these messages. Man, they're playing.
Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Costner, Mr. Wong.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero? Mrs. Wooten. If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
What comes to your mind when you think about mathematics? Clowns, street sweepers, the Red Sox, robots, the weather, earthquakes, Disney World, pineapples, conventions, parking tickets, fishing? If these practical applications of contemporary mathematics didn't make your list, you should watch public television's math series For All Practical Purposes.
You made it! Hey, I couldn't have gotten through physics without you.
Yeah, well, you're on your own at college.
It's not fair.
That's all right. I'm going to get a job, I'm going to start working, I'm going to save, and I'll be in college in another year or 2.
So, what do you have planned, Mike?
I think I'm going to go home and make a sandwich. Okay.
Support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Annoying.
It was all the way up on us.
Okay, well, we're back here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center for the 3rd game. Hopefully, IPFW can get started here. Problems in the first 2 games, but Coach Ball's got the troops together here. Boys fired up here. Team should follow right behind them. We should be okay.
Well, as much as IPFW is struggling, just got a note here from our producer that we are talking over the players and the officials out there, so we'll try and get that taken care of if that has been an inconvenience for you.
Well, half the time some of the things they're talking about are not especially relevant, but if there's a dispute on a call or anything, we definitely want to hear what's going on down there.
Okay, it was 15-13, 15-6 in game 2. Ohio State looking to close this one out. Snagel back on serve. He's been effective for them tonight. Same lineup. Haven't called out John Junker. He's number 10. He's a middle hitter. He's in the middle right now for Ohio State. Off in the back row, as is Wilson. Craig Geibel in the front with Steve Potter.
So did Ohio State make a lineup switch? Did they just put Junker in, or has he been in?
No, Junker has been in.
Okay.
Has not touched the ball that much.
There's Felipe with a great hit, but Hoff with a dig. Whoa. Great save by Ohio State.
What a
They're
great
really
hit
hustling
by Spitznagel.
We need to win this play to take the win out of them. Great job, Felipe. Now let's go.
Time for Felipe Relax to force that one down.
If Ohio State wins that point, it just adds to their momentum. We needed to win that point. That was a crucial point to win. Ball
now serving 0-0. Good jump serve. That time, no penetration, and as soon as we say his name, he comes through. Junker with a kill.
Well, as you said, there wasn't penetration. There was penetration, but it was too late. In the middle, you have to get up quicker and penetrate fast, or else by the time you do penetrate, it's already too late and the ball's past you, which is what happened on that play.
Wide set, Kuyak. Mistiming it.
They're off to another lead. We have got to get a big lead early here, in my opinion, so we can just take them out of this game and hopefully out of the match as a result.
This is Spiegel going cross court. Misses wide, 2-0 Ohio State. Back on serve, Geibel. Almodovar, tough pass. Ball, that's a nice play by Ball.
All right, let's go, guys. Big block here. Yes, Papa. Yeah.
3-on-1 block.
Papa
That's
San.
the first time we've seen a 3-man block on Ohio State all night.
We're certainly capable of doing it. As you know, we have one of the best blocking teams in the country. And we have to do more of that tonight if we want to win this match. A lot more blocks. We're getting our hands on a lot of them.
Spitznagel.
It's looking good now.
Wilson.
Great dig. Paper who? Pete, that's a great set by Kujak. And Squirrel terminates it, baby. Now we're on a roll. Squirrel's fired up. Squirrel's out to get him a nut.
Oh, jeez.
Out of bounds.
Just long. Great move that time by Almodovar to get out of the way. 2-2 now. Roulade on serve. The focus has been in and out for IPFW. See what Roulade does on here on serve. It's a Spitznagel block that time. Kuyak. Difference being that time he was about 6 inches over the net. Gets the block, 3-2 IPFW. Nice one-hand set that time. Potter pushes it over. When Ohio State has had the opportunity, they've put the ball away at the open net. Junker on serve now, 2-3. Almodovar with the overpass. That's Wilson down the line. Good swing by Wilson that time. 3-3. Good pass by Almodovar. Papaleo from behind. Papaleo on serve, tied at 3. The pace starting to pick up. Tough pass there that time. Spitznagel with a great save.
Boy, almost had that ball up. It was a great try by him.
Little housekeeping now being done by Spitznagel. Potter on serve now, 3 apiece.
IPFW has a little bit more momentum right now. They need to capitalize on that by getting a side out here and scoring more points.
Boy, that time a bad set by Ball. Opportunity here.
That was garbage. That's what I mean about not digging in. Quentin didn't, and he picked it up, but Felipe just didn't stick that ball.
And to me, Neil, it seems like each player is playing their own game a little bit right now, not playing the team game. Trying to do things by themselves rather than working as a unit.
Well, in a simple definition, that would be accurate. But sometimes I remember as a player, just out there, you don't exactly know what is wrong. You just know that the team isn't playing well together, and you're trying to do everything you can individually to help out. And as a result, sometimes you try too hard. But eventually you fall into that groove where everybody is playing well together, but hopefully it doesn't happen too late, because sometimes if that happens too late, it doesn't matter anyhow.
Hoff has been the big gun for Ohio State, that time with a kill. This is Ball, back row Spiegel. They catch a line. Did indeed. Side out IPFW, they're trailing now 3-4. It's Kuyak back on serve. He's a sophomore out of Wisconsin. Nice back set. Potter flying in from the outside. And I'd like to see the hitting percentage for Ohio State because they have really done well tonight. I would guess they're well over 45%, maybe up around the 50 range.
Great pass by Norm Gorm. Felipe with the tip. Felipe should stick the whole words there. Now we're talking. Now Ohio State's starting to look like the Bad News Bears. And maybe we can jump on them here. Chance of taking advantage.
3-4, IPFW. IPFW was leading the first game, if I'm not mistaken, 13-10. Since that time, they have scored
Nice up,
just
Papa.
10 points.
Nice up, Peter. Let's go. If we win this point, it's a big one. I'll get the crowd into it. So Squirrel, now we need a block. Let's clamp it. Let's clamp it. Great dig by Normie.
By Maldavar. Still alive. 2 hits now. Overpass.
Yeah, Papa.
Papaleo. 2 hits coming back. It's Geibel turned inside.
It's a great rally. It's an important one to win. Turn around. That was a big momentum rally there. Whoever wins that rally is going to definitely have the momentum. It was a great play by both teams, but great effort. Hopefully IPFW will see the positive part about it and see how well they played on the point and get a side out here.
This is Spiegel. Time the set was a little behind it.
We adjusted it.
Wanted
so
it a little outside. Spitznagel back on serve.
Actually,
Relat with a facial that time. Hop. This is Ball back on serve now. 3-5.
Last you.
And a service error. It has not been the service errors tonight. It has been the poor defense that has hurt IPFW. Ohio State has played consistently. Geibel on serve, 5-3. Ball, the outside set off the blocker, Spiegel. Well, what has worked well tonight, Neil, for IPFW? What do they need to do offensively? What set offenses do they need to go to right now?
Well, first of all, I'd like to apologize to the fans at home. I haven't had much to say recently, but that's because we've had some technical difficulties, and I've been communicating with the people downstairs, and we've cleared all of them up now. In response to your question, IPFW needs to just do what they do best, which would be a little bit difficult for me to explain in the intricacies of their offense within a couple of seconds. But right now, they're trying to do it, but they're having a lot of misconnections, and they're not playing good defense or blocking right now. If they start playing good defense, which they have earlier in this game, but in the previous 2 games they hadn't, then everything else should take care of itself because their offense is one of the best and probably the best in the country. They have all the weapons.
That time, great 2-man block that time. Potter and Junker on the block for Ohio State. IPFW did come back to tie it up at 5 apiece.
Coach Ball is a mastermind. He runs a really terrific offense, and Lloyd being his son, they think a lot alike, so our offense is executed really well when the passing's good, but the other parts of the game are very important too, with blocking, serving, defense. And if we're not doing those, sometimes our offense doesn't really matter.
Boy, Hoff, 6'7" that time, just reached out and touched that one right over the net. Good look that time. Nice high set for him to take advantage of. Bad pass by Maldavar.
Nice run now by
chases
Papa.
it down.
Let's see if we can stop him here. Great block. Nice up by Paper. Stay in. That's the defense we need, though. Even though it went out of bounds, that's the hustle we need. That's the intensity on defense that we need that we didn't have in the first 2 games. We pick this up here, we have a chance.
6'5", Ohio State. Potter on serve. That one is long.
That one sails.
Spiegel on serve at 5'6", jump service.
Great serve by Squirrel.
Boy, and Hoff has just been dynamite over the middle.
And he's really worked on that cutback shot, and he didn't have that last year. So
by cutback, what do you mean, Neil?
By hitting the ball not straight ahead of you, but across your body. And by hitting that ball there, it makes it almost impossible for the middle blocker to block him because he can hit either shot he wants, whichever one's open.
Time to pineapple by Lloyd Ball. Second time we've seen it tonight. Second time it's been a kill. Kuyak on serve. Tough serve. Geibel swinging down the line, finds it.
I don't know, I couldn't see from my parents' bad angle, but it was called in immediately, and Patty, believe me, if it would have been out, Patty would have seen it and overruled it.
It was a good call. The ball was indeed in. And Hoff back on serve.
It's a good serve by Hoff, but it's a great pass by Norman. There goes the Squirrel, but they get a hand on it. They're blocking well. Even if they don't block,
that time miscommunication there. Kuyak, that was Papaleo's ball, stepped in front.
Even if you don't block every ball straight down, blocking is still an important part to slow the ball down so defenders have a chance to play it. That's what's called a soft block, which we saw in that last play. The ball was blocked straight up in the air. They had all day to come down, play it, get it up, and run their offense. Makes things a lot easier.
Waldemar swinging for the kill. Well, Neil, we look at this team for Ohio State out on the floor, and they're a very short team in comparison to IPFW. They run about 6 feet, 6'2", 6'1", 6'1", 6'2", 6'7". So the blocking is not because they're so tall, it's because of the penetration and the way they're getting up quickly.
Like you said, with them, well, Hoff's been doing a lot of their blocking, and because he's 6'7", the height helps there. But often, it's timing, and they've showed a lot of good timing tonight. But teams that are bigger like IPFW don't have to rely on timing as much, with the exception of Raul Papaleo, who probably has the best timing around. So it varies. Guys who are not tall still can block. They just have a more difficult time.
Should IPFW try to go off the tips of the fingers of the high flat shot, or should they be trying to go elsewhere, just away from the block? What should they do?
It varies with every play, whatever's open.
Okay,
you know, if it's open, you spank the ball straight down. If the block's in front of you, then you try and use the hands and try and get a point out of it.
Just like that from Spiegel. Is now 6'7", ball on serve.
Let's go, Lloyd, big one here. And he answers. Ball's back off the net.
Boy, big swing that time by Geibel.
There's my boy Papa, great job.
Off, point
now,
for IPFW.
By Lloyd serving that ball so well, the setter had to set that from the 10-foot line, which means he cannot set the middle attack now. That means the blockers can guess and go either outside right or outside left. They don't have to worry about the middle attacker. So by serving tough like that, Lloyd really creates a lot of things. That was a much better pass. They couldn't have gone middle there. But Squirrel takes care of him anyhow. Yeah, Squirrel.
That time, Squirrel
trying to get his nut.
Gives IPFW their first lead here.
Here comes Squirrel. Squirrel about to get his nut here on the replay. He towels off there.
We'll try and take that
I'm afraid we're not going to see a replay. But we see a shot at IPFW bench right now. They look a little bit more upbeat, not as upbeat as they would like to be. But now they're ahead by 1. All they have to do is win this game, take it one game at a time.
First lead since a 3-2 lead here in the third game. The College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about our programming, including IPFW Sports Telecast. To receive your free Channel 6 program guides, enter name, address, and zip code 2. On there, right there, your screen, Channel 6 IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. Or you give us a call at 481-6000. Back to action here. Ball on serve at 8-7. Ohio State has used their timeouts judiciously. Third one they've called, and each time has resulted in a kill. Junker with a kill that time for Ohio State. This is Geibel on serve at 7-8.
So that's what I mean by bad pass. Now, there's only one option to set the ball outside, but Papa comes through anyhow. But you notice they had the blockers out there waiting on him because the pass was bad, and it made Loy set it from so far back. So he only has one option there instead of 3, which means the blockers can guess where they want to go. Well, actually, they don't have to guess. They know where the ball's going to go, so they can go out there and camp and wait on Papa. But Papa's so great, he took care of him anyhow.
Ohio State buying a little time, cleaning off the floor. Lott will be serving. Score should be 9-7. No, the score is 8-7. 8-7 IPFW here in the third, and that time ball pulled back. Side out, Ohio State. Junker on serve. Good spinning serve. Nice set that time, Spiegel.
Those are the kind of hits we need to get this crowd back into it. Squirrel is capable of pounding the ball even harder than that, but that was amazing. With his long arms as high as he was, to hit that ball still inside the 10-foot line is an amazing play.
Hoff one-on-one. They got him over the middle that time.
They got that cutback shot that he's been using. Oh, normal Norm, the quiet storm, baby. They got Hoff on his cutback shot, and then Norm took care of the rest of the sloppy business, left to work up.
9-7, Papaleo on serve. Tough serve that time by Papaleo. Ohio State now just has to get it over.
Ohio State's looking a little bit flustered. They know IPFW's back.
Gorm. That time
Norman's on
Ohio
fire.
State a little mixed up. Connor looking back at Spitznagel, didn't know where he was at.
Look at the IPFW team now. They're much more upbeat. The crowd's starting to get into this a little bit more. We're going to win this baby in 5.
10-7 IPFW in the third. Hoff right over the blockers.
That is considered by many to be a throw.
Tried to hear the conversation there between Spiegel and Patty Salvatore.
And I couldn't hear it, but I'm sure Quentin was asking her whether or not that was a throw. But it's Patty's judgment. And usually at Division I level, that play will be let go. So I think it was a good call by her to let it go. But the other team is likely to complain whenever a play like that happens.
10-7, Spiegel on serve. Off with a cutback one more time. Spiegel was in position there. He has just been a killer tonight.
We got to hold him off. Yes. Major service error there. Ohio State had a chance to get some of that momentum back, and they just choked it there by serving the ball in the net. Service errors are crucial.
This is Kuyak on serve now.
Some coaches will make you run stair laps.
One on one block that time, Amadavar.
How'd it feel, Hoff? Now, Pete's up complaining about Norman saying something through the net. But Haas said something a little bit earlier, I think it was in the first game, to Norman after he blocked the ball. So, you know, I don't think what Norman said was anything bad. He was just happy to block it.
Service ace, second for Peter Kuyak.
Now the team's fired up. Now we're on a roll.
80 in the line at 12-7 now. And the Pete Neal was referring to as Pete Hansen, the Ohio State coach. And now Ohio State began to fall apart a little bit. Timeout.
Hansen's up calling a timeout. And right now, Ohio State is in the tank. And let's hope we can keep them underwater and not let them out.
We've often seen that this year with IPFW. They have struggled at times to get their game together. And they've gone to 5 games when they've really been up by 2 and then put the game away. Now they find themselves in a different position. How are they going to react here if they win game 3?
Well, Ohio State, I haven't seen them play but a little bit this year, and they look a lot better now than when I saw them last time, even without Terpstra. They beat Ball State this year. They've shown some consistency, some inconsistency. What they need to do now is get that consistency back. At least get some momentum, like IPFW's test was in the last game. To get some momentum back, they need to get it here.
This is Kuyak. Hoff that time, cuts it right back. And as much as IPFW might be aware of that play coming, it's still the deception that it's hard to cover that play.
Out to Norman.
Moldavar swinging big lately, misses that time long. Another good timeout by Ohio State. They respond.
He was back off the net. He had to take a little bit off his swing there. All those balls he's been killing earlier were a little bit closer to net. When you're that far back, you have to take a little bit of power off.
Great pass that time by Ball. Relat couldn't get to it in time, a little low. IPFW going to take a timeout here. Good timeout by Pete Hansen of Ohio State. 2 quick points. Well, we have another telecast coming up here in the near future. March 26th, it's Loyola Marymount. We got some California that weekend. The matches, I believe, Saturday and Sunday. There you see at 8 p.m. Loyola Marymount in here against IPFW.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that weekend.
Well, we talked a little bit. We touched on this a little bit in the pregame show that IPFW went out west, played some quality teams. Now they're going out west again, but they're not getting the great quality opponents that they had in the past few years, Neil. And what's the reasoning behind that?
The reason for that is this year they implemented a new schedule change. They're only allowed to play a certain amount of matches, and they also made the conference, the WIVA conference, we're in the MIVA, they're in the WIVA, a lot bigger. So those teams have to use up all their matches playing each other.
Oh, great get by Relat that time.
Great dig by Felipe. Oh, and Lloyd was in the net. But as I was saying, those California teams have to use up their matches playing each other because of conference play, so they don't have very many left to schedule out of conference teams. As a result, IPFW got a very weak road trip this year against San Diego State, San Diego, and Laverne, whereas in the past, they've played teams like Santa Barbara, like a University of Southern California, but those teams have used up all their match dates this year.
Teams that will probably have a good shot at the Final Four.
Certainly.
They do get BYU, though.
But BYU is going to be a big one, a very, very big one. BYU is a very good team this year. And IBFW wins that one, they'll go up in the rankings, certainly.
Now let's get back to the game at hand here. It is 13-10 IPFW. Blatchley that time, and who's into the net? Moldavar into the net.
Well, that timeout by Hansen has done what it has accomplished what it was meant to do. Take the momentum away from IPFW. Now it was their job on the court to get the momentum back, and they seem to be doing that here.
Off one,
we need a pass here. Let's take it right back. Normal Gorham.
Two-man block. Junker that time, the sole blocker on that one. Turned it back inside. It was 13-7 at one point. Now it is 13-12. Ohio State can put this one away if they get 3 straight points.
Well, if you remember, you know, Coach Hansen called that timeout before, took the momentum away from IPFW. Now Coach Ball plans to do the same right here with this timeout.
Well, Channel 6 is accepting applications for IPFW sports events and programs. For more information about how your business or organization can utilize this opportunity, call the Channel 6 office during business hours at 481-6000. And I'm sure they can set you up. It's a nice program out here at IPFW. The men are playing tonight down in Indianapolis to win the conference, the Great Lakes Valley Conference outright for a berth in the Division II tournament. And that time, Moldavar is long.
It's tied up now. They have to side out here. Let Ohio State get forward. It's similar to the first game where we had the big lead, and all of a sudden, next thing we know, we had lost 15-13. We have to not let that happen again.
Boy, great call that time.
All night long, Felipe's tipping a lot of balls. He hasn't hit a lot of balls. He's misconnected with Loy. There it was crucial. Loy went back to him, showed a lot of confidence in Felipe, and Felipe came through big time.
Tied at 13. Moldavar back on serve.
And
catches the line, just long.
Whoa. W right now has to regain their composure and side out again.
Better angle than we had up here. This is ball
Squirrel.
back set.
Great
get
dig.
that time by Hoff. He's
it's going to be a free ball. Now we got to use this here. Great pass by Chad. Here comes the squirrel again. Getting that nut, baby. Yeah, squirrel.
Off Geibel that time, could not turn it inside. Still at 13, jump service. Boy, that ball was out. Ohio State now has to scramble to get it over. They don't do it.
Never over. Now we got game point. Now the crowd's live. Now the crowd's in the house.
First time they've been up on their feet all night. It's a crowd of about 1,200 out here. Very few Ohio State fans.
Let's see if we can get a crazy, stupid death serve out of Loy here. Oh.
It is long.
One goes out of bounds.
Is that an acceptable try, though?
That was an aggressive serve that could have won the game for us. So you can't fault him on that. But however, on game point,
what a great set.
But what does Loy do? He comes back, makes a great save, sets the middle. We get the kill. Loy's doing a great job there. Way to keep his composure.
Blatchley was in the game for a short time. Kuyak comes in back in the front line now. Want to use his blocking. Chance for IPFW to win game 3 and get back in the match here. 14-13, Relat serving. Good serve. Ohio State struggling to get it over. This is for game 3. Relat saved by Hoff.
All right, now it's transition roll. Former center back to Loy.
Ball off the blocker.
Look at the crowd now. That was a crazy, stupid set by Raul. I like that. In other words, crazy, stupid slang for something that's good. For those of you at home that don't know that. The Raul had a great set there. Right back to Loy. They weren't expecting it because Loy's the setter who had just played that ball. Great selection by Raul. Loy put it away. Loy's a tremendous hitter. And most teams by now should realize that, but some don't, and they leave him open.
Okay, this one's starting to get interesting here. 15-13 in the third. IPFW coming back. They're still down 2-1. We're going to be back on the other side right after these messages.
and drive home safe. Remember to strap yourselves in with your safety belts. You don't want to end up like Eddie. Belt up. Don't be a dummy.
Bonjour. French in Action, opening a new era in language learning. A television course in 52 lessons centers around a wonderful romantic comedy filmed entirely on location in France. The story of Mireille, Robert, Marie-Laure, and the mysterious man in black will help you to learn, to understand, and to speak French. Watch French in Action.
After dating the guy forever, you think I could tell him anything. Why is this so hard? I'm really scared.
It takes a lot of guts to tell someone he's too drunk to drive. But you can do it. Just say it. Because if you don't, there may be nothing left to say.
Kevin, I'm gonna drive.
Take the keys, call a cab, take a stand. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
This is IPF on Channel 6. Paul Farbaugh along with Neil Day. We're going to get Game 4 right here in a moment. Here you see the recap there. IPFW needed some clutch play there.
This is kind of like deja vu for me. 2 years ago when I was a junior, we had a 5-game match here with IPFW. It didn't mean as much then because we had already clinched first place in the conference, but we were going for an undefeated season. And it was a very dramatic match. We happened to win it 17-15 and rally scoring in the 5th game. Ohio State comes up here and always plays well. And as a matter of fact, we've had much more success playing them on their court than we have here, even though we've always defeated them, but they've always played tougher against us here than at home at Ohio State. So we're going to be in for a good 2 games here, hopefully, and hopefully IPFW will take them both.
Well, coming into this event, IPFW had beaten Ohio State 10 straight times. And without Mike Terpstra, their leading hitter from last year, and early on this year, out with a broken wrist, looks like IPFW might be able to walk through this one in 3 games. Ohio State has played tough. They've played smart. Hoff has just been everywhere on the court, digging everything, blocking everything, and he has got the big cutback shot working for him tonight.
Way to start us off with a great serve by Loy. Great dig by Loy. Off of Hoff's cutback shot again.
Just Spitznagel over to Geibel. Side out Ohio State. Maldavar, good serve by Hoff. That time combination.
We can get Quentin started here in the middle of this game. He's playing opposite, which means he's usually hitting on the right side, but you can also interchange him and Peter and let him hit out of the middle. It throws a different look at Ohio State, confuses them.
This is Potter off the block. Good get that time.
That was perfectly clean. Norman
time
the ball
did we get a block?
out.
Spiegel is wide. 0-0. Back on serve. Spitznagel.
Great hit by Peter, but Ohio State's on top of it again. Out to Felipe. Felipe back to Papa. Papa sends it home.
True example of courage tonight by Raul Papaleo.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem to be bothering him now. You know, sometimes you'll have something that'll hurt you, you'll walk it off. A couple seconds later, it doesn't feel it at all, but I'm sure he'll be feeling it tonight.
You weren't with us here in the first game. Papaleo came down, thought he flipped an ankle. Mike Gale, the trainer for IPFW, began working on his left knee, might have popped the knee out. Papaleo limping around badly after game 1. He's come back and he's been a major player, consistent.
Well, I don't want to speculate with what exactly is wrong because I don't know. But whatever it was, Mike Gale did a great job of getting Raul back out of here on the court because he looks good, and it's a great job by our training staff here.
2 straight points for IPFW. Papaleo on serve here. It's been that kind of night.
Back row attacker over the line. It's similar to what I was talking about with the setter. In the setter setting, if he's back row, he can't reach over and attack the ball over the net. It's the same thing for the guys hitting the ball from out of the back row. If they step on the line or step over the line before they jump, it's illegal and it won't count. However, they can jump and land in front of the line as long as they jump from behind it.
That time, Junker. Quick hitter, quick set. Side out Ohio State, serving at 0-3 now. This is Geibel. Craig Geibel, 6'3", senior out of Tulsa. Slide over pass, ball reaches up nicely.
Tremendous set by Loy. Only center in the country who can pull that set off without hitting the net because of his height and his quick ability. Some centers can make that set and set the ball to the outside, but not set it behind them. That was a tremendous athletic play by Loy.
Boy, that time a changeup by Spiegel. Hoff caught unaware. At that time, the defense in the middle.
At the point. It was going out of bounds, but Hoff decided to play it anyhow. It might have been called it could have been called a lift, but it wasn't. And I think that's a good call. Passes like that, they're contacted quickly, should not be called a lift.
It's time, second option, back row, Spiegel.
Great job out of Squirrel.
Coach Arnie Ball off the bench. That's about as emotional as I've seen him out here the past 2 years.
He wants him. He realizes that he has Ohio State down now. He wants to win this game, put him down for the count. I don't think they can win the 5th game if IPFW wins this one.
This is Ball. This time off the blockers. IPFW 4-0 now. Kuyak on serve, and he has been difficult back there for Ohio State.
There's going to be a discussion here between the referee and the captain because they can't tell if they hit the antenna first or not. She's conferring with Lauren Gebert.
Okay, Salvatore. Patty Salvatore whistles. Kuyak has 5 seconds to serve.
Back. Ooh! Get that out of here, Potter.
And that's something we haven't seen much of tonight. Loy ball at the net, rejected.
Loy looked like the Shaq there. Went out and dunked that on him.
Well, IPFW jumped up the first 2 games. Remains to be seen if they can hold this 5-0 lead here in the second. A good start anyway, though, for IPFW. And the players are back smiling once again. Well, you too can join in the excitement of IPFW athletics by visiting the Club. The Royal Don Club is the official booster club for all IPFW athletic teams. Members enjoy priority seating in all IPFW events, food and refreshments in the hospitality room, admission to IPFW sports meeting and luncheons, and association with other Mastodon supporters. And those are just some of the benefits. If you want more information, you can call Lisa Moreland at 481-6027. I'm going to pass along these notes for you. Indianapolis beat the IPFW women earlier tonight, 84-62. The women's season, but at halftime, the men are ahead. The Greyhounds 34-27. Every time tonight, Neil, Pete Hansen, the coach for Ohio State, has called a timeout. They have responded with a kill or side out.
Well, Hansen's a great coach, as is Coach Ball. Both come from Ball State. That was a 6-pack, but a 6-pack's still a dig if it goes up. 6-pack means you hit someone in the face. And that 6-pack turned into a point for them.
Boy, and that's the type of play that can turn a team around. Potter's face still a little red.
But, you know, he'll trade the red face for a point there. And they needed that one.
Jump service, and boy, that one was wicked, just long.
You know, both of these players played under Coach Shondell. Both of these coaches played under Coach Shondell down at Ball State. And they both want to beat him this year, and they both have beaten him this year. And they're both doing a great job. There's a triple block. We said earlier how IPFW has got to get their blocking and defensive games on. The defense picked up a little bit at the 3rd game. Now the blocking's picked up to another level.
Time Lunar served by Maldavar, spreading out the court, does its job. Here's IPFW on the attack.
Oh, look good, look good. Loy has blocked several balls this game.
First substitution
I think
we've
3
seen.
within this game alone. And he sparked the rest of the team to come on and do some blocking. And that was another great athletic set by him, twisting his body to avoid from hitting the net and kicking it up there to Felipe to put down.
You got a quick look at Troy Hotz in the game for Ohio State. That is the first substitution they've had here in 4 games coming out. 14, Matt Wilson.
It's like that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And nothing was broke before they were playing well. Now they're starting to lose. Now it's time to make substitutions trying to get.
Wow, what a block that time. Geibel turns it all the way back.
Geibel's a veteran for this team. He's very unnoticed. A lot of people don't know who he is. But he's been a starter for 3 years now for these guys.
He is a senior. This is Hotz, the new player, back on serve. Tough serve.
Out to the squirrel.
2-on-1. Spiegel has been shut down out there when it's been 2 blockers.
Guess who blocked that ball?
You are correct, sir.
Tom Hoff. And if he gets back on track blocking here, IPFW can come back and win this game. And in my opinion, they have to win this game. Because if IPFW goes into the 5th game with the momentum, with the crowd here, the excitement of the rally score game, the crowd getting into it, they should be able to pull it out with no problem.
7-3 IPFW, a service error from Volleyball.
However, Ohio State, you never know, they pulled a lot of surprises off tonight, so.
This is Hoff on serve, tough serve.
A lot of tension here. If IPFW being down 2-1.
Kuliak that time reached behind, might have gotten a little off rhythm that time.
IPFW's been going, they use the back row attack a lot, but they've been going more to it tonight than they have in the past.
This is 2-on-1. Spiegel that time got a nice high set he could work with.
It's an amazing shot. He cut that almost inside and around the block to get it into the corner like he did there. It was a great shot.
Spiegel had time to see where the blockers was. Results in a side out. 7-4.
There's a Schenkel. Now we got a free ball. Now we're going to transition it, run it down their throat. Oh, bad pass by Raul.
And that's club volleyball right there.
I've never seen Raul make an overpass. I honestly have never seen Raul do that ever before. On an easy ball like that, it has to go perfectly high to the center. But Raul being the best passer on the team, you would expect of anybody, not him, to do that. But he'll be back right here.
Relat, off-speed kill attempt, still alive. What a great effort by Ohio State.
Now that's Raul. I know that's a great pass. Back to Felipe. Oh, great dig by Hoff. He's 6'7", digging the ball like that.
Ohio State is doing everything right now. A couple great gets that time, and Geibel converts.
They're back in this. Remember, it was 5-0, 5-1. Now it's 7-5. And IPFW has their hands full once again. They have to side out and get the momentum back. Ohio State has the momentum. The crowd has been like they have been for the majority of the night, quiet. We have to get the crowd back in it.
The setter is back on serve. That is Adam Spitznagel. He is a freshman, mind you. Has played well here tonight.
Baby. That's how you get the crowd back in it.
The
Toe jack.
howitzer.
Shave his head balls so he can go along with his nickname. It's a great hit by Peter.
Push set that time. Ball comes up with it. Block one-on-one. Kuliak. Just wide.
Boy made a great play going down, scooping that ball up under, but you'd like to keep that ball on your side of the net. But sometimes it's very hard to do that when you have such little time to get to it.
Playing that time, the back set just long, and that is one of the toughest sets there is in volleyball because communication has to be just perfect on that.
It was a good set, but we've had a lot of problems. We've been hitting a lot of balls out of the back row, out of bounds.
Papaleo has been doing a masterful job with the passing attack.
But the Squirrel's still on fire. The Squirrel's staying consistent for us. We're only up 1 point now. But things are okay if we can stay consistent and get things started here. If we don't, Ohio State's going to creep up on us just like they did in the first game. Before we know it, it could be over.
Spiegel, a 6'5" senior. 7'6", still alive, and Moldovar into the net.
Let's hear about the conversation. I thought Steve Potter was under the net first, too, before Norman hit it, but it's Patty's call.
You call him under, you were in the net. He's watching that.
As Patty said, as you just heard, the down ref's job to call people going under the net. If he doesn't call that, then all she sees is the net, and therefore that overrides what Norman may have been saying about him being under the net first.
And now they found a little success there. Spiegel going against Hotz, the new player in for Ohio State. Right over the blockers that time. The high set working well for Spiegel. Can see around the blockers and hit it around them.
See, IPFW, I was just about to say, you know, they stay consistent, even though they had a call there that they weren't happy about. They came back at the sign out, but then they go and serve the ball right in the net again. They've got to develop some consistency in order to win this game.
Tough serve that time, handled nicely.
Come on, let's go.
Block.
Out to Norman, great set by Pete, and Norm uses it. It's a great play, great reaction by Peter Kujak, who is not a setter. On the angle he was on, that's an almost nearly impossible set. He made it perfect to Norman. Norman put it away.
7-6 IPFW here in the fourth. Jumped out 5.
Oh, there's a throw. But no call. Like I said, I like Patty not calling that, because with this level, that is almost never called. But every once in a while, a referee will surprise you and call it.
Spiegel that time high.
They're siding out. This is the consistency I'm talking about. Even though they've lost a couple points, they come right back and take the ball right back. Let's see if we can get some points here out of Loy. Is he going to jump? No, he's staying down to conserve energy, which is a good idea if we go to 5 games.
Hotz with a pass. Back set. This is Potter bombing. Hits an overhang.
If those of you at home wonder why Loy isn't jump serving there, it's very, very tiring to jump serve all game long. If IPFW is to win this match, they have to win it in 5 games. Therefore, they need Loy's leg strength to do other things. So having him jump serve every time will wear him out, and that's why Coach Ball has him down right now.
Papaleo into the net. Close to the net that time, was not in.
Norman thought that ball was out. He let it go. Gebert right on top of it, called it in. Norman knows it, but it's all right. They're going to come back right here and side out. They must. Game's tied now. Great pass by Raul. Out the Squirrel.
That time,
great coverage. That's the coverage we need. Back to Squirrel again. And he comes through. Felipe made a great play there. If they get blocked there, Ohio State has all the momentum. They're very hyped up. But instead, Felipe picks it up and get it back out the Squirrel. We get a kill there. It was a major play. Now let's go for a tough serve here.
7-7, IPFW out early.
Ball's in the corner.
Junker has been solid tonight up at the net.
The undiggable shot. If you hit that ball in the corner, it can never be dug.
Just Spitznagel back on serve. Overpass, ball handles it nicely. Time Kuyak, just a little too far away from the net.
They've slowly creeped up on us, and now they have the lead, 8-7. They haven't changed on the scoreboard yet, but it is 8-7.
Boy, that serve, a great floater.
Wow.
That time Kuyak.
That was a little questionable there about, whether that play was a lift or not, but Patty's been letting everything go, and she's been very consistent about that tonight, which I really respect an official. It's not necessarily what you call, it's how consistent you are. And that ball was another shot back in that corner where it's undiggable, back in the deep corner by Kujak. Ball
That time
sailing out of
cannot
bounds.
save that one. Geibel with the effort.
Normie's a hammer. They can't handle it.
8-8 now. Papaleo back on serve. Has been the key. When he went out, IPFW suffered because of the passing.
What happened there? Raul was ready to serve the ball. The official did not blow the whistle. He had to bring his arm back down, threw his rhythm off, and caused him to serve that ball in the bottom of the net.
Jump service, Geibel woefully short.
They had their chance there. They keep giving the ball back to IPFW. This one's going to go down to the wire. Let's go, Squirrel. We need the crowd in this. This is a close game. The crowd should be more into it at this point. We need a couple spectacular plays.
Hotz that
Out of
time.
bounds. All right. 9-8. Hear a little bit of rumbling, but we score a couple more points here. Might be able to bring the roof down.
Hotz is in the game for number 14, Matt Wilson. He is holding his left shoulder. Might have injured it. That time, Potter, 2-man block. Almodovar and Ball put it right between them. This is Junker at 8-9. Almodovar, big swing, hits it wide.
Okay, it's tied up again. This game is, head-to-head the whole way.
Papaleo, that's
play
almost
can make
an
all the
overpass.
difference. Great save by Loy.
Time blocked out of bounds.
Cheever on top of that call. Ohio State's ahead. We need a timeout.
Ohio State point 10-9. They lead in the fourth here.
IPFW has been somewhat consistent throughout this game, but they're not playing as well as they can play. They need to get a side out here immediately after this timeout, which is why Coach Ball called it. And they need to get the lead back, at least 12-10. But the problem is when they have sided out, they haven't converted on their serves. They've either served in the net or they've served easy serves where Ohio State could easily side out. One thing, when you serve in the net, that's much worse than serving the ball out of bounds long. Because if you serve out of bounds long, at least the other team has to make a decision as to whether or not to play it. If you serve in the net, they don't have to do anything except stand there and watch it. So IPFW really wants to make sure if they do serve aggressively, serve deep, because then the other team, even if it's out, they at least have to make a decision. And 9 times out of 10, if it's close, they're going to play the.
This is Yunker.
Yeah, baby. Kojak's in the house. He hasn't hit this well all year. He's really coming together now.
And he has been successful over the middle. We're going to have a substitution for IPFW now.
Scott Lauer coming in the game for Pete. Scott's the backup setter. Did a great job in the Wisconsin-Milwaukee match because Volleyball was out with a foot injury. And he led the team to a 4-game win. Now he's going to come in here and see if he can spark us with some defense.
Spitznagel that time off. And he has been tough all night long. He's been one of the primary reasons IPFW has not had much success over the middle. Great blocker. Bolivar going cross court, and Hoff that time into the net. Tied at 10. Bolivar on serve.
Like I said, they've been siding out, but now they have to convert on the serve. We need a tough serve here. Make them shank the pass. It's still another good pass. But it's great defense though. Ooh, just out.
This is Hotz, Troy Hotz.
Yeah, that's the play. We haven't seen very much of that since early in the match. Moya's an offensive weapon. They haven't stopped him all night. Very few teams ever have stopped him. If we can get the passes up high, Loya's going to put the ball down. That's what we need to do right now. I think he's our option. Get the ball high for Loya, let him throw it down. Great block.
Block just long.
You see Squirrel motioning over the net. Actually, he's upset with himself, but he was over the net. That ball just happened to hit off his hands and get a lucky bounce for Ohio State out of bounds. He did a great job penetrating there and almost had that ball blocked.
Tom Hoff, 6'7" sophomore.
Papa, X2 combination roll is the best combination hitter in the country. Gets up so quickly right off the middle hitter's shoulder and puts the ball away. Also, the back X, which is a 4-ball instead of a 2 in the middle. A 2 is a middle set off of a combination with the middle hitter going in front. A 4 is a back set with the middle hitter either going behind or in front to draw the block and Raul being open. He's the best at doing that. He gets up explosive off the ground and does a really good job of converting on those plays.
Haven't seen many combination plays out here tonight for IPFW.
No, and that may be one thing that they might want to think about doing more here in this game.
The time quick set, Yunker.
We're still down 1 here, and Ohio State keeps siding out.
Neil, I'd like you to pay particular attention to IPFW's block this time and see what they do if they get a chance to block here.
Papa with a great hit, but it's a dig back there. These guys are playing defense. They want this match.
That time,
there was no touch to hit the net.
Spiegel up quickly.
Let's go, guys. Crowd trying to get the team pumped up. Rolls back to serve.
It is 9-10. I misspoke earlier. It is not tied. IPFW trailing.
Great dig by Felipe. Ooh, into the crowd though.
Geibel on serve, 10-9.
Passes back off the net by Norman. Only 2 options. The point comes through anyhow. They're siding out. This game has been going on forever. The score's been 10-9 for a long time now. But IPFW needs points here. They need to get started right now. Squirrel with the jump serve. Great serve. That's the good serve that we needed there. Now let's see if we can convert on it. Great soft block. Loy dishing out the Normal Gorm. Ball's dug up.
In perfect position that time.
Hoff hits a nice easy roll shot. Set up out the Normal Gorm. Another dig off the face. Ball sails out of bounds. No touch.
Boy, Hotz thought he got a touch. Let's listen to this.
Lauren first, he started to signal touch and he called the ball out of bounds. Now I guess he changed his mind and says he did see a touch. It's very difficult the way the ball's traveling to call out one way or the other.
No argument from IPFW.
Patty did a good job to get the play started there so there wouldn't be a whole lot of arguing. The game's tied at 10 now. Lauren Begorn, the quiet storm, and Peter Kujak with the big block there. Now it's knotted up. Let's see if we can score a point here. Actually, I think it's 9-10. They gave us a point there because they thought Lauren hadn't called that. They thought Lauren had not called a touch, and he changed it. We had to take the point off the board. That's what Pete Henson was up at the score table talking about.
Boy, big swing that time by Potter.
So mix up on the block there, and there was no one on him, and bang, big left-hander from Pittsburgh put it away. We have to keep siding out. There, what I tell you, they can't stop Loy. They haven't stopped him once, not once. Every time he has touched the ball all night, he has killed it. Loy is our alternative right now because he's an offensive weapon in his own right, aside from being a setter. As a matter of fact, I think he's one of the top in the country in
45.
kill percentage. He's 10th in the country with a .458 killing with a hitting percentage as a setter, and that's phenomenal for a setter to be that high up.
Papaleo now sets ball, going outside.
He can also do it from the outside. Raul, as you know, is a great setter. He set here his freshman year before Loy came. And he showed it right there. And Loy showed his ability to spank the ball.
That time misreading the block. Ball was going outside. Turned it back inside Ohio State side out.
Hoff has really worked our middle blockers with that cutback shot tonight. And we haven't stopped it yet. That was my favorite shot that I like to use. And it's very difficult to block. And if he keeps up with that, it's going to be very difficult to stop him. I'd suggest going for the ball was out of bounds, but it was off of Quentin's foot. So that's another point for Ohio State. This game is inching closer to the end. IPFW has to do something here.
This is Hotz back on serve at 11-10, and he
Ball's
serves out.
Major service here. You know, the crowd is really tense right now. They're really afraid that IPFW may lose this game. They, as well as IPFW players, need to relax a little bit, get things started, have a little fun, and maybe we can come back and win this game a lot more easier if we weren't so tense. Because I know I'm tense right now.
Geibel turned back in. That's off.
They have to put it over the net here. They said the ball was off of the leg. Now here, let's listen to the conversation here between the ref.
You saw it below your waist.
Okay, she's saying the
Right
ball.
there.
She's saying the ball was played below the waist. The down official had a good angle on it. He called it. She blew the whistle into the point. Great job by the officials.
Below the waist is a violation.
Papaleo, baby.
12-11, IPFW back in front. Timeout, Ohio State.
Now we're up by one. Seesaw battle.
Well, they have done it by going to different options. Loy Ball has been swinging. Now Papaleo have not really been in the offense much tonight.
Overpass being ready. Raul was up and ready for that ball and spanked it.
Just had the announcement here. Try and catch the score one more time. IPFW has won tonight at Indianapolis. That means they win the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Or at the very worst, the tie was Southern Indiana. Southern Indiana tonight playing Kentucky Wesleyan. Very tough team for Division II winner.
Where's that game at? Kentucky Wesleyan or at Southern Indiana?
I can't be entirely sure. I believe it is at Kentucky Wesleyan.
You know, they're former national champions, but don't be surprised if they take Southern Indiana out and IPFW owns that title by themselves alone.
Geibel tools it off Spiegel.
He had something to say to the squirrel there, too. Things are heating up here. That was a great tool shot off the block, but I think Loy may go to squirrel here, and squirrel put it away. Let's see what Loy does here with the set. He's back row now, so he's not a weapon himself, so he has to get the ball up to somebody. Gives it up to the Papa, who can't handle it.
And finally now Papaleo starting to come back and show some life.
This is the Papa I remember. You know, people talk about stats and everything. He's such a fine player, and he's showing it here. The reason he was so successful last year is we did run a lot of combinations, which are his bread and butter. This year we haven't run as much, and that may have to do with why his stats have gone down a little bit.
12-11, IPFW leading on serve now. Papaleo!
Papa hammering. There he goes. My boy's back. Like Chucky and Child's Play. Papa's back.
3 straight times Papaleo has come through over the middle.
It's all because of those combinations, man. Coach Ball has realized this. He set the combination offense up. Papa's on fire. When he's hitting, he's doing everything else.
Oh, what a big block that time. Geibel and Junker.
Let's not forget about Ohio State because they're playing very well. And they're not just going to lie down because Papa's on fire.
They've had chances to fold up, and they have not done so, responding with a big play.
So if they don't lie down, let's force them down.
What a
pass by Papa. Squirrel off to X2.
This is hot. He is not their big swinger.
Not even in the slightest. Actually, they don't really have a big swinger. You know, I take that back. Potter and Hoff are their big guys they want to give it to, but neither of them have a tremendous amount of power. There's no Brent Hilliard on this team, but they're very consistent.
There's Potter, two-man block. Tried to turn it inside, got it off ball.
Things are stagnating again here, but IPFW, if they can get a side out, they're only 3 points away.
Substitution coming in now. Got to be a defensive specialist. Sam Herrero in. Tom Junker out.
I don't know who he is. I've never seen him play before. And Coach Henson has confidence in him in this crucial spot to put him in the game here.
On the bar, cuts his own shot.
The cut and storm. That was a great cut shot there. Turned his, that had to have hurt his shoulder. The tremendous angle he used there. And it was also hit with a lot of power. Most cut shots aren't hit with that kind of power. It was hit so hard that they couldn't handle it on defense because they were there. They were in the right position on defense. They can't handle Norman's power.
Kuyak on serve now with 12-11.
Great serve.
Stuck there.
Those are the serves we need.
Did not cover defensively that time.
It's a great pass by Ohio State, which allowed them to side out there. But that's the type of serving we need. Nice and deep, make them pass the ball over their shoulder and move their feet. If we do that, they're going to have a lot of problems.
Going back of Aldevar, missed time. Potts comes up with it.
Game's tied up now. That's the difference tonight. Ohio State has really passed the ball well, and that's why they're ahead 2-1. Now, this one's going to go down the wire here. Things are a little bit tense. The crowd isn't much into it. We need a big play to get them into it and relax them.
Quick hitter that time. A lot. 1-on-2. Beats off.
Okay, let's go, fellas. 3 and send it to rally score. Right at him. Great
this
pass.
Hott's got a dink.
Felipe with the block.
Still alive. Got to get it over. Not great effort by Potter anyway.
Great effort, but not. IPFW's up by 1 now. We need 2 more.
Substitution. John Junker coming back in.
He may be out of timeouts. That's why he's coming up with the substitution here. It's used to break the momentum. It's like a timeout. You bring the player back in. It makes IPFW wait a second. Make Norman think about his serve. And now we go. Here's the score. IPFW beat Indianapolis 62-60. It was a close one. That must have been a great win for them. You know they were celebrating down there, and I'm really happy for those guys because they worked really hard this year.
And a good group of guys as are the Volleyball out here on the floor. Very personable, easy to talk to, self-effacing. It's a quality program Andy Piazza's put together in his 6th year here. First time ever in the Division II tournament.
Yeah, Andre Walton, a friend of mine, I know he's really happy about that win. He's done a great job running the point guard for them this year.
Business at hand here, 13-12.
Oh!
Turned over!
Lloyd, a blocking boy. That's the way to get your hands over the net and stuff that down. He's like the Shaq. Shaq ball, back to serve.
Catches. The tape.
But see, they're going for the aggressive serve, which they need to do here. Lloyd's done that twice now. He has had a couple service errors, but they need to serve tough here because Ohio State's been doing such a good job.
This is Hoff back on serve. 12-13.
That's a really easy serve. Great pass by Norman. Terminated. Wimpy serve. You got to serve tough when the game is crucial like this. You can't get tight because the score is close. Every great player, you're going to make, like Lloyd went for it. He made an error, but you have to go for it. If you loosen up like that, you allow Norman to make an easy pass. Plays over with that quickly.
Neil, how many timeouts do teams have? Do they have 2 per game?
2 per game. At least as of last year. Any more would take too much time away from the game. Squirrel!
All that time off Junker, big kill, and they can put game 4 away here.
Squirrel's got the crowd on their feet.
It has been quiet here most of the night. Substitution, Hoff coming back in. 14-12, Rolado on serve.
Another momentum breaker. We've got them by 2 here. We need 1 more point, and we're going to rally score.
Going down the line. Quick hitter that time.
Almost.
Big play. Junker again. And
now
he
realize,
has not
folks,
made a mistake.
2 points by Ohio State. It's a whole new ball game. So just because IPFW has a lead here does not mean Ohio State's out of this game. only 2 points, which can be turned around in the blink of an eye. So IPFW has to stay consistent inside out here.
A little gamemanship by Almodovar, cleaning the floor, buying a little time to regroup. 12-14. Spitznagel on serve, the setter for Ohio. Overpass. Ball comes up with it. Kuyak in too tight.
It's a great try by Lloyd to try and save that ball. What he might could have done is maybe fake like he was going to save it and let it drop in because Ohio State wouldn't have been ready. But no biggie, they still have a 1-point lead. Lloyd's clapping. He realizes that he's still trying to keep the troops pumped up because all they have to do is side out and score 1 more point. So let's side out right here. Let's see who's he going to set here. Probably the squirrel. Squirrel or roll, either one. Would be the likely choice.
He goes to Kuyak.
It goes to Kuyak.
Jumped a little early.
Net. So I think Lloyd realized Ohio State was thinking the same thing I was, but in a clutch situation, you're going to go to your big hitter. So I think definitely on this play, he's going to go to Raul or Quentin. But now he has to because the pass is bad. He can't use the middle.
Spiegel blocked. Great get by Almodovar.
Great play. All right, let's go. We need 2 points now. Like you said, it's a great play by Norman. He might have saved the game and the match for IPFW with that play there. Now we need 2
apiece.
And Raul, the great servers, back here. Steve Simonson cheering them on from the bench. They're trying to get them pumped up. These guys on the bench have great attitudes. They really do a great job of picking the guys up on the court out there. Being the great players that they are, it's tough to be on the bench.
This is a good opportunity here. Almodovar goes wide.
Ooh. Another side out. Now remember, folks at home, if it does go beyond, it does get up to 15 all, the game will be to 17. The team can't win 17-16 because that's the cap. It is not win by 2 once you get to 17. Volleyball, Quiet Storm's back. Normie's not going to make 2 errors in a row because he's such a hammer. Lloyd realizes that, kicks the ball to him, Norman takes care of business.
That time he went down the line. Was turned away a few times before, going cross court, went down the line.
If we can get a shot of Felipe's pumped. You know, they're talking a little bit of Spanish there. Get Norman pumped up there. These guys from Puerto Rico, with the exception of Raul, who is very passive, very fiery attitudes when they play volleyball, which is great. It makes them really intense. Raul, on the other hand, is so calm, he's able to stay focused, and it allows him to be a great player.
Almodovar wanted a big swing, got in tight.
Well, he's swinging away at the ball. You can tell IPFW is not playing tense, which I like. Ohio State is playing tense. That should allow IPFW to win this game, and we'll see if Ohio State loosens up. Good serve. Great pass by Normie.
Going back to him that time.
That's a crucial error. Now it's match point for Ohio State. They must side out this point. Coach Ball calls a big timeout. They haven't changed on the scoreboard, but it is 15 to 14. There it is.
1 more to go here. Ohio State down both of the first 2 games. Down, I think it was 4-0 in the first, 3-0 in the second. And they were down 5-0 here in the fourth.
Tonight's official attendance was 959. Now, Coach Ball, he realizes the players are a little bit tense now because they realize how important this match is, and they're only 1 point away from losing it. However, they're only 3 points away from sending to a 5th game, which they will probably win it in. So now, they must side out. Lloyd looks relaxed. Coach Ball is watching closely here. They have to get a side out on this point. Big point.
Younger on serve, and Hoff is up on the line.
Okay. Goes back to the squirrel.
Spiegel responds.
The squirrel answers. That's my boy. In the clutch, who are they going to set? They're going to set the squirrel. He's going to grab his nut. Grabbing the nut out of the tree. That squirrel. Climbing the tree and grabbing the nut.
He has been the most consistent player all year. For IPFW comes through again. Off that time, that is long.
Now it's not up at 15. Don't even ask for a touch because there wasn't one.
Kuyak got out of the way that time. A big play by the young sophomore.
This reminds me so much of the match 2 years ago against them that went 5 games here.
Great serve by Kuyak that time. Handled nicely, and Hoff comes back, talking at the net.
Now, Lloyd, they put the biggest blocker on Hoff. Lloyd gets in front of him, but Hoff has perfected that cutback shot, and it's nearly impossible to stop. Because if you move yourself over a couple steps to the right to take it away, then he has that angle and he can pound the ball there.
How about Spitznagel tonight, the freshman for Ohio State? The job he has done set.
He's done a great job.
Boy, great get by Geibel that time. Going to go back.
Potter
Great
dig by Peter.
2 to
Let's
get it
go.
over.
Felipe, yes! Yeah! Boy's pumped up now, and so is Felipe. Felipe has come through. He's had a few errors tonight, a few misconnections, but on the big points where they really need him to come through, he has come through.
15 apiece here. Hop that time, saved by Papaleo. Get it over
Come
now.
on, Papa! See ya! Wouldn't want to be ya. We're up 1. Like I said now, it's a game to 17. It's not win by 2 anymore. The first team to score 17 points wins. We have the advantage. We're up 16 to 15.
This is for game 4 here. Hoff!
Oh, Norma Gore with the dig!
It's a live
ball!
ball.
Oh, he's in the net. I hope he's not hurt. He got pushed in, but we've got to recover here. We still have the lead. We only need 1 point. They need 2.
Back on serve to be Troy Hawks for Ohio State. In the front row, Hoff is still there.
Oh! Oh!
Hoff takes that one that time. 6-7 wins over 6-8.
The pass was so tight that Lloyd knew he had to dump it, but Tom knew it was going to happen, so he was able to commit on it beforehand. We need higher, more slower passes for Lloyd to be a weapon. Ohio State has match point. Must side out. Must side out.
Off the fingertips. Still alive. Can get it
No,
over.
sir. The Papa San off the combo. Now we have match point. Like I said, the next point wins. It does not matter who scores it. The next point wins. IPFW back. Lloyd ball back to serve.
This is to get to game 5. You can bet your house on this one. This is a jump serve.
Lloyd a jump serve, boy. All right, now it's match point for Ohio State. Match point here. We missed a serve, we went for an aggressive one. We have to calm down and go back here. Look for either a combination to roll or to set outside the squirrel. But like I said, Ohio State's looking for the same thing, so he may set Felipe, because Felipe's had a couple of big clutch kills at crucial times tonight too. Great front line to have up there at this crucial point. Out to the squirrel, and he was blocked. Inbounds, game over, match over. Ohio State is upset IPFW at home.
See if we can get that one on replay. Let's take one more look at it. The blocking had killed us all night. We don't have a replay on that. Once again, the block sort of fitting at the end.
This puts IPFW in a very tough position. You know, they haven't lost an MIVA match in 2 years. This is the first time they've lost. And, you know, it had to happen maybe eventually. But hopefully they can learn from this one, because they're still a great team, but this has to be a very tough loss for them right now.
The Ohio State players hugging each other on the court, very jubilant with a win. First time in 11 games that they have beaten IPFW. There you see the players leaving the floor. Neil's going to go down on the floor with the player of the game. He's trying to decide who it should be right now. I think my vote is Papaleo. The way he has come through, he was consistent. I really, you know, it's a tough game to call because,
you know, we had some clutch kills out of Quentin and Raul at crucial times there. It's very difficult for this team right now. I'm gonna have to agree with you, say Raul, even though the entire team played very valiantly at times, but it's a very tough loss for him. I feel bad for him, but they will rebound. The team will be back, but now they have to win down at Ohio State in order to win the conference.
There on the left corner of your screen, if we could have that camera person swing over, IPFW is grouped right now. Arnie Ball is talking with his team. Very emotional. This is going to be a learning experience for IPFW.
Now they have to go out to California on this down note. But, you know, these guys have been through some adversity this year, and they'll rebound. They're a great bunch of guys, and Coach Ball will keep them under control, and they will be fine. They will be fine once they get. Hopefully, they'll go out to California and win 4 straight and get back on track for the year. I'm gonna head down and get Raul for player of the game.
Okay, Neil is headed to the court. It was an inconsistent night here for IPFW. We mentioned before they jumped out to big leads in 3 of the games, 4-0, 3-0. The first 2 games and 5-0 here in the 4th. But Ohio State with Tom Hoff just kept coming at them. Good defense, and Hoff with a cut shot tonight. We're going to try and get a kill total for him, but he has to be well up around 30 kill mark. Great effort tonight by Ohio State. They come out of here with a win, first time
just one of the many parts you can play as a young Red Cross volunteer. Volunteer and play your part.
Talk about unusual. How often do you see transparent televisions?
Americans have more money to spend on leisure activities than ever before.
When possible, children should trick or treat during daylight hours and be accompanied by at least one adult.
A boat, archaeologists believe, is from the time Jesus and his disciples fished on the Galilee.
For best results, fertilize your lawn when it is actively growing.
Many people suffer from allergies. Few understand them.
The tragedy of child abuse takes many forms, from verbal assaults to hurtful blows. But it is preventable, and we all have a role to play. If you know of a parent having difficulty, reach out, sit down and talk. And if you're having difficulty, get help for yourself. Talk to a friend. Sign up for a parenting class. Take time out. Don't take it out on your child.
Contact the National Committee for Prevention of Child Abuse.
I want to be a doctor,
A judge.
electrical engineer, a chemist, a dentist.
The American dream is alive, nurtured in part by the United Negro College Fund. The fund reaches out to deserving students with a quality education, an education that turns wonderful young dreams into realities.
I want to be president.
And you'll be tough to beat.
Please, support the United Negro College Fund.
Back here at the...
Paul Farbo back here up top. I'll swing it down to Neil. We take care of a little business up here. 4-game match down and out. Ohio State wins the last one 17-16 in the blocking. Key for them tonight. Take care of business right now. We at IPFW are pleased to be able to bring you cable casts of NCAA athletic competition. We hope that you enjoy the show and the excitement here. Intercollegiate Sports from IPFW. To provide such programs, we need your support. With the help of many volunteers, we are able to produce these programs at relatively low cost. Your contribution will help defray the production costs not covered by the Channel 6 budget. Channel Cable Access Center invites you to invest in quality college programming by sending your contribution. You see it on the screen there, Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard, East Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. And now let's go down the floor. Neil Day standing by with Raul Papaleo.
Here with the player of the game, Raul Papaleo. Although the team played well at times tonight, this is going to be a very tough loss. We have a big California trip coming up. What does this team have to do to rebound from this big loss?
I think the first thing we have to do is to forget about tonight. It's the first loss against Ohio State I've experienced. It's not anything positive. So we have to forget about tonight and just go to California and try to come back undefeated from California and try to win all those 4 matches in California. And I think we have to work together because tonight we like went different ways and we were kind of frustrated because Ohio State came out and played really good. So we have to just stay concentrated on what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks and try to win the conference. Even though now we're in the second place and Ohio State's first place.
You know, I said this team's undergone a lot of adversity this year with injuries and a couple of big losses to some other teams, but you guys have a lot of character, and I'm sure that you will rebound. On a more positive note tonight, you seem to get your hitting going, and it's seen as a result of the combinations. Do you feel that that was the reason why, or why was your hitting going better tonight than it has been?
I think that we picked up the passing, and when we started passing better, then we could run the combinations a little bit more better, and that's how we came back and won the 3rd game. I think I need to keep doing that, the combinations, in order for me to be successful at hitting. But we have to forget about tonight and forget about the things that happened, the injuries, try to get back in track and win the rest of the matches ahead.
You got a big one coming up against BYU out there on that California trip. Now, if you win that one, you should have erased this one as far as the rankings go. So, are you guys looking forward to that, or are you concentrating on the first matches?
We have to win all of them, but especially BYU is really important because they beat Stanford a week ago. But right now, losing to Ohio State tonight here at home, I don't know how the rankings are going to come out. We can beat BYU, but it's going to be...
Well, the only ranking that matters is that one at the end of the year. Believe me, I have a lot of faith in you guys, and I know that you'll be there. So, good job. We'll rebound from this loss, and we'll be back on top of it. And go back up to Paul in the booth.